welcome to Comment Please by Univest on this Friday. It is the 18th day of February 2011, and on the program today we're out of the studio and on location. We're in Doylestown, PA, and we are paying another visit to some place that we were a few years ago, but happy to be back at the James A. Michener Art Museum on Pine Street in Doylestown. It's a real pleasure to be here. Always glad to come back to one of the great resources that exists in Bucks County, in Bucks and Montgomery counties. This is one of the great resources in the area. We're going to have several people that we're going to talk to. We'll talk about the Michener Art Museum as a great resource. We'll also talk about an exhibit that is opening up here at the Art Museum tomorrow, as a matter of fact. We're going to have a little verbal preview for you on the program today. Several people will join us. Among them we have, because Univest is the sponsor of the exhibit, we have from Univest our old friend Annette Chagall, who's the Chief Experience Officer and Executive Vice President of Corporate Planning. Annette, good to see you again.
Nice to be here, thanks.
Now, what is the relationship between Univest and the Michener? Because it seems to me it's pretty significant. As a matter of fact, the last time we visited the Michener, we had the top guy at Univest, Bill Ashley, on the program with us. So I know there's a real solid connection there.
Positively. I mean, you know, the Michener is a local resource for the arts, and Univest is very focused on supporting the arts and culture in the communities that we serve. And, you know, the Michener is just a great local example of that type of venue. Mm-hmm. We're proud to partner with them.
And I think it's a great exhibit that's opening up tomorrow, American Icons, which is photography that features, I don't know that there are two greater American icons, certainly in the last century, Muhammad Ali and Elvis Presley. It's really a great exhibit to be tied into, no doubt.
Yeah, the greatest and the king, right? I mean, how can you get any better than that?
Yeah, no doubt about it. Also joining us during the program today will be the Chief Curator here at the Michener Art Museum. We have Brian Peterson. And Brian, thanks so much for coming by.
Thanks for inviting me, Daryl.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity to chat a little bit about the Michener and find out what's going on here at the Michener, because there's always new and exciting things happening. But how excited are you about this particular exhibit, which is opening up tomorrow?
I'm so excited. I just bought a T-shirt that says "Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee."
And he's not kidding. He did just buy a T-shirt that says exactly that.
I might wear it tonight. We'll see. I'm debating about it.
Give me your impression. You are, of course, you're a professional curator, so you know much better than I the strength of this particular exhibit.
Well, first of all, just to clarify, there's really two exhibits that are opening up. One is from the Smithsonian Institution, and it's called Elvis at 21. It's the Elvis Presley show. Then there's a second exhibition about Ali, which is called Muhammad Ali, the Making of an Icon. And we decided to put them together because we thought it would be an interesting pairing. But one show specifically focuses on a specific period of time in Elvis's life, which was obviously at 21. It was a week or two in the summer of 1956 when he was just on the cusp of his incredible stardom. Mm-hmm. So you see Elvis as a very young, almost callow, innocent fella who's a bit wide-eyed about the whole thing, but still is clearly enjoying the moment and seizing it as well. And so it's amazing, really, to see the almost the sweetness of what he was like when he started. And the Ali show is more of an overview. It starts with him as a teenager and runs through his recent years, and contains photographs by a number of different photographers. Some better-known ones are Gordon Parks and Annie Leibovitz, and really is telling the story of his whole life.
Kind of the arc of his,
correct,
of his celebrity, of his status as an icon.
Correct.
Yeah. And what is interesting is that both of these individuals have such incredible stories. Their life stories were incredible. Obviously, Elvis died way back in 1977,
right,
so a long time ago now, and ended tragically.
Yes.
Muhammad Ali is going through issues now related to Parkinson's disease, yes, which is probably related to his career in boxing.
Probably so. Yes.
So you've got two very different sort of arcs of their life and their career. but fascinating individuals, each one.
Right, and in fact, one thing we found a lot, excuse me, thanks to the work of my colleague here, Adrian, but that they actually were friends.
Oh, really?
Yes, they not bosom buddies, but they knew each other, visited, and had a great respect for each other. So it's an interesting that they had a lot in common.
It was. We were talking a little bit before the program, and Annette, you made the observation. They both had the it factor. Besides obviously being great at what they did, boxing for Ali and for Elvis music, but they really did have an it quality that just they took them well beyond just sort of the abilities that they had.
Certainly, well beyond just their talent.
Yeah.
They had an it factor, which was really their aura and sort of, how they presented themselves and how just, the population just adored them.
Yeah, they did, and they had both had, I think, some detractors and supporters, and that's again makes them interesting and complex very often.
Right, and I would add to that in addition to their charisma and their gifts, these were two people who were incredibly good at what they did, and that didn't happen by accident. Obviously, with Ali, we know about the preparation needed to be a championship level boxer.
Yeah.
And he was that. It's maybe less clear with Elvis that aspect of it. For example, when he did a recording session, I think the famous one is when he did Hound Dog. He did 31 takes of that one song to get what he wanted, and that was common the way he worked. So he may have come off in a certain sense as this kind of star fella who was surrounded by admiring groupies and that sort of thing, and all that was true. But he really was a craftsman also, and had a sense of excellence about what he did. And I think that's a lot of why we respect him for his gifts, but also for the mastery.